What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Blitz the Books. Mike, how's it going?
Man, going good here. Wade, excited to talk some college football with
Yeah.
you. Mix it up a little bit. We're baseball guys. That's our hardcore sport. That's our bread and butter. But man, I'm glad we can mix it up a little bit now. College football almost here. What are we sitting? 9 days away from week zero, baby. Only 5 games that day, but hey, enough to whet the appetite, get things going. Excited to hear our best bets here for everybody for week zero and week one. So I'm fired up, man. How about you? How you doing over there?
Things are going pretty well. We had a pretty nice day with the MLB show yesterday. I know we cashed the bonus play from the day before, so that added a nice touch to our 3-in-1 day yesterday. So nice 4-in-1 um last day and a half for the MLB show. So let's flip that right into some more profits here for the first week of college football. We've got a lot of matchups. I know you've given out quite a few plays. You've got quite a few articles out there that we'll get into. Most of the plays that we're going to be giving out here today, the lines have moved a little bit. Some of them may not be gettable. We'll still tell you if we still like them or not. Um, if you guys want to get these lines when we drop them, you guys need to make sure to follow both of us on social media as Mike drops his articles daily, usually every morning, so you guys can get those bright and early. And he's also dropping plays on his Odds Shopper VIP, so make sure to go check him out over there. You guys can check me out anytime. Links are always in the description. I'm always giving a free trial, so you guys can always come peek behind the curtain without having to pay anything. So come check us out. Without further ado, Mike, what is one of your first week one plays that you like?
Let's see. What do we want to do first here, Wade? This is kind of a tough one. With Cincinnati +7 over Nebraska. You can still get +7 at Bet Rivers or Sugar House. It's 6.5 everywhere else. Really like getting that key number 7. I'm a Scott Satterfield guy. I think he's a really good coach at Cincinnati and did a decent job at Louisville. He rated the transfer portal pretty well, especially in the wideout department. Brought in 5 new faces. Those guys have a talent to start right away for the Bearcats. I like their quarterback Sorsby quite a bit. Um, he's got a big time tight end in Joe Royer. His ideal NFL size. He's 6'5", 240 pounds. Hauled in 50 receptions last year for over 500 yards, 3 touchdowns a year ago. Expect Royer to play a bigger role in the Bearcats offense this season. Their running game wasn't as good last year, kind of disappointed me a little bit, but they did lure Tommy Walker away from Wisconsin. That is a huge get right there. The former Badgers bruising back, ran for 864 yards, 10 touchdowns for Wisconsin last season. So that's going to take a lot of pressure off Brendan Sorsby. In the end, I think Nebraska's going to be good. I know Dylan Riola's got a rest in the full article that's up over at eatwatchbet.com. So check that out. In the end, I think Nebraska wins. I'm going to call it Nebraska 27, Cincinnati 24, but the Bearcats get the money in the cover.
This is uh this is one of those games that's gonna start off the season. I think a lot of people are gonna be interested in. I love the fact that it's at a neutral site at
Yeah.
Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City there. So that'll be fun. I think Nebraska fans probably would like to have this game at home to start the year, especially in with second year quarterback Dylan Raiola. I know they're going to be looking to get him going pretty early. So this is going to be a really good matchup, man. I like it. The really good head coaching matchup. So
Yeah,
very good
no
look.
doubt. No doubt. Appreciate it, buddy. What about yourself there, my man? What do you got cooking for the people, Wade?
Yep. I
Wade's
know
been
both
making
of
money for the people in his Discord for about what, 3 years now, 4 years
yeah,
now?
yep,
So
yep.
don't sleep on this guy, man. Sign up for his Discord. A dollar a day. What a deal, man.
A
What a deal.
dollar a
You
day
pay
will keep the doctor
5
away.
Hey, let's go. Let's go. Dollar a day to help build your bankroll. What a deal.
Absolutely. I know that both of us are on this play.
Hey.
It's moved a little bit. Buffalo plus 17.5, minus 115 against Minnesota. Minnesota opens the season in a tricky spot here against a Buffalo team that quietly returns a solid core of offensive production, including 1,000-yard rusher Al J. Henderson, and they bring in
Yeah.
transfer quarterback Taquan Robinson from Kansas State. On the other side, the Gophers are also breaking in a new quarterback and still searching for consistent offensive identity after struggling down the stretch last season. In their last 6 matchups versus MAC schools, they have average winning margin of 12.5, which makes me really like this line. Current ELO rankings have Minnesota 46, Buffalo at 61, while both teams were very similar in statistical comparison last year. Even though the strength of schedule may have been in favor of Minnesota slightly, they both averaged right around the same yards per play on offense last year, while Buffalo averaged more points per play. If Buffalo leans on a 58% rush play game plan, which they fed all season last year, I think they could control enough time of possession to keep this a closer game. These two teams have faced off historically, and they currently have um, stayed within this line in one of those games. So they're 1-2 against this line. Um, Matchup. I mean, it's just I think it's more just a matchup of if like we talked off air, if Minnesota wants to run the score up and blow them out or not. Um, we'll have to see. I just don't think they have the horses to do so. I think Buffalo is a gritty team. They always have been. I think they can keep it close. I just don't think they're going to lose by more than. I think that opening line was 18. I think that was a really sharp line. I think it's down to like 16 now. I think this is pretty good at 16 still. I'm not sure how you feel about that, but I think they can just do enough to keep this game close.
Yeah, I predicted this game being Gophers win 27-17. So I think it's a 10-point game. Yeah, I really like the Bulls here, man. You mentioned Alj Henderson, absolute beast, 1,000-yard rusher. He's back for the Bulls this season. I
Yeah.
think he's going to do some damage on the ground, even against a Big Ten school. Asking Minnesota to cover a large number when they're just not known as a passing school. And Fleck, does Fleck really want to blow out the MAC school? I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe make a statement week one, but I just don't see it. Another good thing to look at here, a big line like this, and this is a really short total, 45 and a half is what it crashed down to. So they're not expecting a lot of scoring. That means the margin for error for the Gophers really, really small to cover a big line. I like this one quite a bit, even with the move. I got 18 and a half about 2 months ago. But yeah, and
Nice.
really think anything over 14 and a half, I'm totally fine with. Good stuff. I like it.
Very nice. Let's cash these first two picks. What is your next one?
Yeah, let's go. All right. Play number two. This one stinks to high heaven. I'm doing it anyway. We go Purdue Boilermakers minus 16 and a half over the Ball State Cardinals. Gonna fade a MAC team here. Ball State had a good offense last year. Problem is they were absolutely raided by the portal and graduation. They got a new coach in there. What's his name? Urimovich. Tough name coming in from Butler. But man, the whole Cards roster is just in state of disrepair. They lost all their best offensive pieces. They lost really anything good from that bad defense. They lost it also. So just a lot going on with Ball State. I think they're going to be really, really bad, and it's going to show up here against a Big Ten school. Now I know Purdue is definitely not going to surprise anybody in the Big Ten. They really only have a handful of winnable games, but I think this makes week one even more important. New head coach Barry Odom coming in the door. Former Mizzou head coach, also coached out at UNLV. I don't know if he's going to turn the ship around first year, but I think he will make a difference. The guy can coach. I mean, you don't land an SEC job not knowing what you're doing, even though it kind of ended less than savory for him there at Mizzou. But you look in the past how he's treated some of these smaller schools when he was at blew out Eastern Michigan 61-21. My goodness. He was also there in 2017, played UConn, laid them out big time. So he's kind of got that reputation for wanting to be a bulldog and make a statement. So I think the first couple weeks, Boilermakers probably going to try some things. Also, a QB battle going on, which I like when you're laying a large number. Ryan Brown and Malachi Singleton both kind of battling it out. Looks like Brown's kind of got this job by a hair, but I hope they play Malachi Singleton quite a bit. I watched him in Arkansas last year. Kid's got some legs; he can move. That could be a decent combo. They're not going to light the world on fire in the Big Ten, but the out of conference games, I think they'll be pretty decent. You look here on CFBDepth.com. Great site that my man Wade found. Actually got some decent grades out there, man. I was actually pretty shocked. You look at defensive back, they're B plus. A plus in depth. The D line, they're a B. A plus in depth. The defense should be a little bit improved. O line's a B. Wide receiver B minus. QB's a B. So yeah, I mean, I don't think Purdue's going to make a bowl game by any stretch of the imagination, but in these small non-conference games, I think they'll, put some points up there. So as stinky as it is, I'm laying it with the Boilermakers, baby. I think they win by 20, 24 points here.
We will be I will be I will be I will be sweating for you on this play.
So
Um
ain't no way, not with my money.
no, it's more of a I'm just don't want to put money behind Purdue, but I'm hoping that it
Okay.
cashes for the show because we need it to cash for the show. I believe it's gonna cash. I think it's a good look. I just hate Purdue, man. I can never imagine putting money behind Purdue. There's 35 million other games I'll go bet on. I want them to lose, so I don't. I can't, it's hard for me to bet on them to win when I want them to
Yeah.
lose. I think that's
No,
more where
that's
I'm at.
probably, yeah, that's probably, I understand. I feel the same way about Auburn and Tennessee all the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Well, my next play, I am going to go to Oregon State Beavers, and I took them money line against California. Jonathan Smith may be gone, but Trent Bray is slowly getting Oregon State turned around, I believe. I may not be high on Oregon State for the season, but this is a pure fade on California, which I believe they were decimated in the transfer portal. I also like what Oregon State did, bringing in Malik Murphy from Duke while returning 1,000-yard rusher Anthony Hankerson and their top receiver Trent Walker. The Beavers were one of the worst teams on defense last season, generating little pressure on the quarterback and couldn't stop the run to save their lives. I expect Bray and his staff to get that in a better position this season. This may be a close game, but Beavers at home, they should have the advantage on both sides of the ball. Look, California brought in quite a few players. They did retool an entire offensive line. They brought in Devin Brown, which is a Ohio State transfer. So California could be decent down the road, but first game out of the gate on the road, I just think it's a pretty good fade. Um, California they brought in some really good players. It's just you're trying to gel all these new guys together week one. I think it's a good advantage for Oregon State here at home. Um, the biggest issue with Oregon State on offense last year was passing, and I think they addressed that bringing in Malik Murphy. Um, I just think they can be something here. I think they can stop California's offense enough to get a win here. I'm not sure how to predict a score here because I just don't know what quarterback for Oregon State's going to be able to do. But I just think overall Oregon State's going to be able to get this win.
Yeah, that's I don't typically know a lot about the West Coast teams because I'm old and those games come on at like 10, 11, 12 o'clock my time. But I am a fan of Malik Murphy. I think it was a big, big get there for the Beavers. He was highly touted for Texas a few years ago. Didn't really
Hmm.
get a fair shake there, I don't think. Looked really good last year for Duke. I was impressed what he did at Duke. So a big, big feather in the cap for the Beavers, Malik Murphy. I like him quite a bit. So because of that, I would definitely lean toward the Beavers there. Good stuff. Good find.
I just think they ran the ball effectively last year, controlled the clock, and then they were very aggressive on the offensive side. I think they went for it on fourth down. They averaged like 3 times a game. They went for it on fourth down. So I think they're if they can control the clock here the same way as they did last year, I think they will be just fine in this game.
I like it. Good stuff, buddy. Nice find. I
What's
like that.
your what's your last play?
Let's see. Final play. Let's go. How about an ACC school, shall we? We're going to go to Virginia Tech Hokies. I got plus 9.5 quite a while ago. Shameless plug to reading, watchbet.com, readbettersinsider.com each day. This was posted a month and a half ago, I guess. It's down to Virginia Tech plus 8 now. You can get minus 105 at Caesar. I still like it at that price just because we're over the key number of 7. South Carolina's going to be a tough team again. We saw they almost upset Alabama last year. They had some big key wins down the stretch. They got a really, really good young quarterback, Lenore Sellers. So that scares me. However, Virginia Tech, I think, will be improved this year. When you here again, with kind of the same situation. Low game total 45.5. It's hard to lay points with a team with such a low total. Oddsmakers aren't expecting a lot of offense. Give me the dog in that scenario every single time. Think Carolina maybe regresses just a tad. Virginia Tech fans, they travel pretty well. And this is played on a neutral. So this could be more like a 50-50 crowd here on Labor Day weekend. This game's actually on Sunday. So this is August 31st. Give you a little extra action the day after Saturday. Um, Love the fact Virginia Tech's kicker, John Love, one of the most experienced kickers in the country, he's made 39 of his 44 career field goal attempts. My goodness, talk about consistency. Always good to have a good kicker in your pocket when you're, taking an underdog. I like that quite a bit. And a lot of playmakers actually for the Hokies. Kyron Drones got hurt last year, but still had a heck of a year. Threw 10 touchdowns, threw for over 1,500 yards in only 9 games. Also ran for 6 touchdowns. So I like him. Also, man, they brought in a stud at running back from Bowling Green and Carry-On Stewart. The guy made me a ton of money in the rushing yards prop market, but that's a story for another day. He ran for 917 yards and 6 scores for Bowling Green last year. I think he'll have a pretty big year for Virginia Tech. He's going to split carries with Braden Bennett. Bennett transferred in from Coastal Carolina. He was also a stud. So, man, oh man, a lot to like this year about the Hokies. Again, I think Carolina probably wins, but I'm going to call it South Carolina 24, Virginia Tech 21, with the Hokies getting the all important cover. And us the money, baby. I
I
love
like
it.
this a lot.
Go,
This is
go.
actually I saw that you were on this play and I took it as well. So I after doing a little digging myself, this is everything you said. It's right up my alley for to definitely hammer this play. I actually put 2 units on this play. This is actually one of my
Nice.
favorite plays of the week.
Hey,
So
all right.
I
Love it
know a
when we
lot of
line
people are really high on this South Carolina team.
up.
I think they're going to be great as well.
Mhm.
I just think this is a spot where it's going to be a closer game than people think.
Yeah, and the fact that it's on a neutral is big, man. If this was in Columbia,
That's
South
huge.
Carolina, tough place to play. Williams-Brice Stadium, very underrated home field advantage, but it's not there. It's on a neutral. That helps Virginia Tech here, I think. So there's that as
I
well.
agree.
Nice.
Hey,
All right.
sports fans, are you looking for free daily sports betting picks and the hottest promo codes for sports books in your state? Check out bettersinsider.com, your ultimate one-stop shop for winning sports picks and unbeatable deals. Dive into free daily articles packed with expert predictions and tips to help you make smarter bets. Plus, we've got links to exclusive promo codes for every major sports book in your state. Why miss out on free money? Don't wait. Visit bettersinsider.com now and take your sports betting game to the next level.
Hey, appreciate the shout out there, man. Yeah, go to any of our 3 websites, mainly the flagship bettersinsider.com, also secondary site, ewatchbet.com, hellorookie.com as well. Any of them have these offers up. Really, really like the FanDuel Bet 5, get $300 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. And don't sleep on DraftKings either, baby. DraftKings been good to us for a long time. There's his
Yeah.
Bet 5, get $100 in bonus bets, but they also get $200 off NFL Sunday ticket. How good is that, Wade?
That's a fantastic deal, man. I think
Yeah.
they're starting to roll out these really good deals.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, football season coming around.
Yeah.
Books want to get people in the door. So make sure you guys
Mhm.
go to these websites, get your free money.
Yeah. Tune in next week too, because a little birdie told me about an hour ago that Bet 365 should be up in
Ooh.
the ante on their offer some point next week. I can't neither confirm or deny because it's not quote official yet, and I don't know what the offer is. I just know it's going to be, you know, better than it is right now. So if they're legal and live in your state, tune into the show next week. Nice little teaser. Tune in to the show,
Very
and we'll
nice.
get you set up.
Very nice. Well,
What's your
I'm
last
gonna
play?
go. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Notre Dame. I'm gonna take their money line. Look, man, they return
Yeah,
All-American running back Jeremiah Love with
yeah.
Jadarian Price, who make a potent 1-2 punch behind a seasoned offensive line anchored by Bailey Shrouth and Ashton Craig. The run first unit was one of the most efficient teams in the land in 2024, and I believe they're going to do the same in 2025. Now they also add a really good receiving core to the mix. They bring in receiving transfer receiver Malachi Fields and Will Pauling to join Jaden Greathouse as they look to elevate that room here. I know their CJ Carr is going to be one that everybody's been talking about all the offseason. That's going to be the biggest rave of the offseason. We don't know how the quarterback's going to play. I think he's going to be just fine. I think they're going to figure out a way to not put him in bad positions. I'm going to be pretty much riding Notre Dame probably all season as long as we get good lines for them. Outside of their first 2 games, I believe they have one of the easiest schedules in football. If they can get through the first 2 weeks, they can have actually an undefeated season. 2025, this year, I think Marcus Freeman's Irish can avoid danger, or they can avoid disaster. Lost early at home this season, which they have done every year of his career. They have lost a game at home in the first month. If they can avoid that second week game against Texas A&M at home, I think Notre Dame can reel off a pretty good season. Obviously, their first game here is not going to be an easy one, an easy test on the road at Miami, Florida. But like I said, really outside of quarterback questions for Notre Dame, I think they're going to be one of the best all-around rosters with talent and depth in the country. Miami has recruited pretty well, but they still remain inconsistent under Mario Cristobal. Their offense is pretty good, but I'm not a big believer in Carson Beck. I think they're going to take a step down in offense from last year. It was a nice transfer to get back in, but I just don't think he's going to be able to solve Notre Dame's defense in week one, especially in a new offense. The Irish finished top 15 in opponent yards per play in 2024, and I think they should control the tempo against the Hurricanes team here that struggled against physical fronts. I think this is a manageable price. I got them at minus 135, and I just think they're just a more complete and more disciplined team coming into week one.
Yeah, I like it. That's going to be a tough game. But yeah, I definitely lean toward the Irish. Just you nailed it. The defense. Marcus Freeman always seems to have a really good defense. He's a defensive minded guy.
Yeah.
Um, and so it could be, Beck is seasoned and he's definitely above average talent, but we kind of saw him stumble a lot last year in the big games, throw several picks in the big games. So could definitely see the U's offense regressing a little bit, like you said, going from anytime you go from Cam Ward, number one pick in the draft, down to anybody, there's probably going to be a step down. I think it's just going to regress a hair, but it'd be enough should be enough for the Irish to come away with a tough victory there. So I like
Yeah, I
it.
think that defense is going to cause a lot of problems for him. So.
Yeah, I like it. I like
Well, I'll do a quick
it.
rundown and then we will get out of here. Hopefully, we can cash all 6 of these bad boys
Oh,
and start
six
off
and
week
oh, let's
one
go.
with a bang. So, Mike gave
Yeah.
out Cincinnati plus 7.5. He gave out Purdue minus 16.5 and Virginia Tech plus 8. I gave out Buffalo plus 17.5, Oregon State money line, and Notre Dame money line. As always, if you guys want, make sure you guys join our Discord. Come over and follow us on X as we give out articles every day. This is where you're going to get the lines, beat the line movement before we do these shows. Got anything else to say, man?
Man, that's it. You're right. Follow us on X. Remember Des Bryant doing the X? Yeah, follow us on
Yeah,
X. Let's go.
yep, yep, yep. Absolutely. Appreciate you guys watching. We're going to sweep this slate, and then we
Come on.
will be back for some week 2 action. I'm not sure when we'll do the next video. We'll probably try to figure out some content next week to
Yeah.
do until week 2 comes around. So appreciate you guys following as always. We'll be back tomorrow for some more MLB.
Y'all be good.
See you.